Hello, I am Malene, Miss Malene or Miss M, and I am with the Boys and Girls Club of Greater St. Louis, where we service youth ages 6 to 18 in after school and summer programming. I would like to advise you all of our mission statement. Our mission is to enable all young people, especially those who need us most, to reach their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible citizens. So within that mission, we bring you virtual programming. The Boys and Girls Club understands, and we would like to further support those within our agency and within our community with the services that we provide and that we offer, usually on site. So we're making a little change here and we're doing it virtually. Um, so I'd like to welcome you to my virtual program. I would also like to provide support, virtual support to those during this time. It is uncharted territory. A lot of what's happening now is very unfamiliar. However, we are still here to support our families and to support our members. So understand that we are here for you still within all of these transitional changes and things that are kind of happening out of our control. Um, but today's first lesson is going to be from the Boys and Girls program, Smart Moves. Smart Moves is a program that focuses a lot on character development. So the lessons within this particular curriculum will all be focused and centered around the makeup of who we are and how we can make better decisions and be strategic about the things and the choices that we make. That's what Smart Moves is about, basically. The topic for today's session is personal inventory. Say it with me, personal inventory. So, we're going to be talking about ourselves. We are going to be looking from within to identify different strategies and things that we can do personally to uplift ourselves. The objective of today's session is to take inventory of who you are and the skill set that you have to ultimately reach these goals. All goals are attainable. You just have to structure the strategies in which you will use to reach those goals. So we're going to take personal inventory on the skills and the things that we have access to within ourselves to reach an overall goal that we have. The goal for today's lesson is to hone in on certain interests and attributes to reach those goals. So again, the objective is to identify and take inventory of our who we are, our personal self, and our goal is to hone in and take notice and note of our interests and how those interests align themselves to reach an overall goal. The supplies that we need for today, supplies, word all, supplies that we need today are paper. It could be line paper. It doesn't have to be line paper, whatever paper you have access to, and a writing utensil, which could be a pen, pencil, marker, whatever. These things are all things that you should have because you are still doing work from home, right? Right. So these are the only supplies that we'll need throughout our session today. That's it, that's all. I almost forgot that there is one additional supply that we need to add to those other two things, and that is to bring you to this session, to bring your self awareness. I want you to be real with you and be real with me about the things that you do well and the things that you can improve upon, and also the goals that you have for yourself. So, definitely bring your self awareness along with those other two supplies of paper and a writing utensil. All right. So my interactive sessions will include words of the day. And today's word of the day is essential. I repeat, essential. Essential. I'm gonna spread it out like money. Essential. This is our word of the day. The definition of essential is of the utmost importance. So this particular word, essential, means very important. It is essential for you to know and for you to understand who you are. It is very important for you to know and for you to understand who you are. I'm going to read a quote by a famous poet that you may or may not have heard of, Maya Angelou. Quote, I have great respect for the past. If you don't know where you've come from, you don't know where you're going. End quote. Miss Maya Angelou provided this quote, and for me, this particular quote emphasizes just how important it is to understand your past, your present, and your future. So, as a young adult, you are kind of in this phase of not necessarily being a little kid. If you're a teenager and you're not yet at that age or that phase of adulthood. So, it's important for you to understand things that you did back when you were a toddler versus what you are currently doing now if you're a preteen, or based on what you're doing now if you are a teen in high school. You have to understand each phase of who you are. This quote also resonates with understanding your makeup. You are made up of people, traits, characteristics. So it's important to have those conversations with your people to gauge how they are regularly, because that does have something to do with how you are currently. So if you super funny and hilarious, like I like to think I am, I can say, you know what, my dad is a pretty funny guy. That's probably why I have this keen sense of humor and this wit about myself. Um, so your makeup and who you come from, it all adds to the pieces that create the puzzle of you. So it is essential. It is very important to understand your past. It's very important to be critical of the things and the ways in which you went when you were younger versus what you are doing now, and see, does it make sense? Do I need to change some stuff up? Or am I going at a cool pace? Or I'm going at a cool pace, but guess what? I'm about to go harder. So those are the things that you should be looking at regarding past, present, and future self in the whole concept of personal inventory. So we are about to do a writing activity. And with this writing activity, it's called 3 Stars and a Wish. 3 stars and 1 wish. For the 3 stars, you are writing 3 positive personal attributes, things that you do well, things that you like about yourself, things that you just excel at. It could be a natural skill or ability. I want you to write 3 of those things down as your 3 stars. For the 1 wish, I would like for you to write an area that you like to improve upon, something that you might be cool at, but not necessarily great at, and you want to become better at this. Or it could be something that you're totally unfamiliar with, but you would like to be better at it, and you wish to be better at it. I would like for you to do that. So right now, we're doing 3 stars and 1 wish, and I'll give you a moment to write that down. So we're using that paper and that writing utensil for this introductory exercise. I just thought too, that you can use your phone. If you have a notepad, which I think a lot of us do, jot this down in your phone notes. This is something that you would like, that you can go back to, look at, review, take inventory, and see if you are on target um, easily. So you use your phone pad if you would like. You don't necessarily need paper and a pencil. Do you? Do you? Do you have those three things? You need more time? I'm gonna give you another moment. Be real with yourself. What are three positive personal attributes that you have about yourself? And what's one goal or one thing that you wish that you would be better at, or you wish to learn how to do, or to learn how to master? Take pause while you jot that down. Okay, thank you for writing out your attributes as well as your goals. So your 3 stars and your one wish. Now take a look at those 3 stars. Are the things that you wrote down things that compliment you? Um, Things that when you do it makes you feel well? Are these things that get you recognized by adults? Are these things that get you recognized and shouted out by your peers, friends, family, school? Are these things that are can turn into a way of work, employment? Hmm. Take a closer look at your attributes. Look at them closely. So we're going to transition, and I want you to use these 3 attributes to determine how they correlate and how they connect to those areas that are mentioned. So I stated friends. Friends. Is this an attribute that helps you with your friendships? Gain friends? Keep friends? Family. Is this something that connects you further with your family? Is this something that gives them a reason to brag on you? Family. School. Is this something that you're on a club for, on a team? Uh, you provide extra service to the school? Are you benefiting and the school benefits from your attribute? Maybe. And employment. So initially I was going to say some people may not be at the age where this matters. However, you are never too young to begin to developing skill sets and an understanding of what is needed to get a job and to keep the job. So employment is big. Initially, I personally was like, I don't know if I want to say employment because I might have some young people watching who are 12, 13, technically cannot work till you're 15 with a worker's permit, but 16 at most places. So I'm like, okay, employment wouldn't work for them. However, it's very important that now you begin to understand what is needed and necessary, um, the needed and necessary skill set to be gainfully employed. So this is the big one. So take each of the attributes and kind of compare them. So I'm just going to use some that I just kind of thought of. smart. Ask people, what are you? I'm smart, and I am. So does my intelligence help me with school? Well, maybe not. Me, I'm not in school right now. I work at a school, but does it help me? Maybe not. Family, I would say yes, because when you are knowledgeable about something, you are able to give that advice or to lend that wisdom to someone else. So yes, the things and the knowledge that I acquire, it can definitely help family. Um, I might know how to work technology. That's the big thing right now, technology. So if I understand how to work a tech piece or device, then I can lend my advice to my parents, maybe to someone else in my family to assist them in an area where they're not familiar with it all. So yeah, I guess it could help family. Friends. Yes, I kind of say that the same thing can be said about friends. You know certain things upside down. You know certain things, so you are able to render advice based on what you know and based on the area that you are strong in. So yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll say friends. Employment. Yes, absolutely. A lot of the things that I know, I try to translate it to you all, the members in which that I work with in service. It could be to my colleague, to a staff person. If I'm strong in an area and they are in need, or if I know how to do something, I might render advice or render the service to show how things can be done, but absolutely with E for employment. So kind of do that with the different attributes that you have. See how it correlates, how it is relatable, and how it connects to these four areas that I mentioned: friends, family, school, and employment. Take a look and check it out. All right, thank you for doing that. So now we're going to move to the one wish. So the wish was the item or the thing that you want to be better at, the thing that you want to improve, the thing that you want to just learn in general. Um, some ideas could be how to stay motivated, how to play a particular sport, how to drive. You may want to get a job. You may want to have better grades. You may want to gain more friends, be more social. You may want to strengthen a relationship with someone. All of these things are just thrown out there, are hypothetical wishes that people could actually have. So I want you to personally think about that wish that you wrote down, and then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to see how does it relate to one of those four categories that were mentioned: friend, family, school, employment. How does that one wish relate to one of these four areas of your life? Um, could that wish benefit you and your friendships? Is that something that you can learn how to do with a friend? Is that something you can learn from a friend? Being motivated. If I have a friend who is about their business, then I might want to reach out to them about that and say, how do you stay so motivated? Like sometimes I want to do it, but I just don't. I don't know why. What is it that you do that makes you successful when you set your mind to it? Like, I need some tips, I need some help, help me. You can go to your friend and ask them that. With learning how to drive, Family. First of all, are you of age to drive? Secondly, will they trust you? Driving is a doozy. So, again, this is just something I came up with, but could your family assist you in learning how to drive? What are some actions and methods that you could take before you get to the place of actually gaining someone's keys and getting in their car and trying to drive? But how can this help you with family? Okay, let's say you do learn how to drive. Are you making store runs for your people? Are you making yourself available to do certain actions for others? Are you volunteering more? So how does that correlate with family? School, make better grades. Um, what is it that's preventing you from doing that? Like first, sometimes we have to identify what is the barrier that's keeping us from going as hard as we could go. So with the one wish, is there a barrier that you have in reaching that wish? Is there a hurdle or an obstacle that would be preventing you from actually getting to it? So school, making better grades. It could be having a better relationship with the school administration. Maybe it's something that you can do or something that you can present or a conversation that you can have and approach with the right attitude that will make school better for you or make your experience at school better that may overall affect your grades. I also had learning how to play a sport. That goes with school. Be involved. When you are involved in extracurricular activities, it makes your experience so much better. It could be a club, it could be a sport. I said a sport, but it could be a club, something that you may not even be familiar with. Join that club, hop on that team. That helps you in your experience with school. That makes it you get to know more people that you may not necessarily surround yourself with outside of that activity. Um, and it just makes an overall better experience. It gives you more to do while you're in school other than focusing on, the day-to-day schoolwork, classwork, homework. Like it spices it up a bit. And then we have employment. Become more social was one of the other things that I had written down, not necessarily personally speaking, but things that could be something that you would wish for. Certain employment opportunities, you have to be social. Certain jobs, you do not have to be social. So maybe it is asking to perform a different task if you do work that may require you to kind of step outside of yourself. Or it could be talking to other professionals as a young person to gain an understanding and gain knowledge about certain professions that will ultimately help you to decide what it is that you like to do. You all are at a very ripe age where, and with the world, you have access to so much information. And I'm sure you have access to trusted adults that be able to help you to navigate through your thoughts. So definitely talk to people about the skills that you can have or the skills that you may need for the employment opportunity or the career that you would like to go into. You might be able to start that career as a young person. You might not even need to be all the way old and grown. Like you might be able to kick that off right now at your very age. You just have to have the mindset and be connected to the people and the resources that'll get you started. And that's Boys and Girls Club. That's what we here. That's what we do. We connect our members and our youth and our families to different resources and to different opportunities. Yeah. So the last thing is an activity. And drum roll please. Wheel of goals. Wheel of goals. So, with the wheel of goals, we have each of the four categories that we just spoke about. And in each category, I would like for you to take a writing utensil that whatever you were just writing with, you're going to take it. We have it mapped out into four quadrants: family, school, friends, and employment, which are the three categories that we just discussed and that we just talked about. So it should be right here, right here. We're going to take this paper. You're going to create this. So I want you to create this board, right? Wheel of goals. A circle, four quadrants, and you're going to label each quadrant with family, school, friends, and employment. So take a quick moment. You can use the back of the paper that you already wrote on. You don't even need two pieces of paper. If you were using your phone earlier, now you would need to access paper and some sort of utensil because we're going to use this as the spinner. But write your graph out, and we are going to continue the activity using the attributes and the wish with this board. So create your board. All right, so now you've created your wheel of goals, and we are going to place our utensil right in the middle. We're going to spin it, and wherever the top lands, you are going to correlate a goal or see how that attribute aligns with this. So this kind of goes with what we just kind of talked about and did, but it's in a game format. You could play this with someone in your household, a family member, and it kind of gives you all a opportunity to talk and discuss amongst one another about where you are with your personal inventory and where you are with your goals. So um, a trusted adult, a sibling, um, a family member, a friend, you can use this wheel of goals sheet with them, and then you all can kind of discuss. It's like a talking point. So let's see. Oh, make sure it stays on. So that landed on school. So I can identify, okay, or create a new goal that I have specifically for school. Let's try again. Friends. What is a goal that you have regarding friendship? Create one. Hey. Family. What's something that you would like more of or to do in relation to your family? Let's see if I can get employment. Oh, there we go. Right. Yeah, there we go. Employment. What are things that you can do right now that will help you in determining what your career aspirations are or gaining employment? Maybe you're at that age to where you can work. Do you have a resume? Do you have references? Do you have people that you can talk to about different job opportunities? Um, so yeah. So to wrap everything up, I would like to thank you for joining me in my virtual program for the program Smart Moves. And I also like to say I hope, since it's the end of it, I hope that you do and have gained a few different pieces regarding your personal inventory, the things that make you, the things that you are made of, and the areas in which you can improve to do better. So get with the club, get with the club, the Boys and Girls Club, the Boys and Girls Club.